We are officially 1 year old. Glub, 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 glub. Starting all the way back from one single post on our Tumblr page, which you can find right here, all the way up to where we are now. It's just been a really great year for us, and we're really excited because it all culminates in us getting to try what is unanimously agreed to be the best beer in the world.
That's right.
Regardless of style, we have it. Westy 12.
Westvleteren 12.
The really cool thing about Westy 12 is that the monks who brew it, the Order of St Sixtus, it's the only brewery left in the world that the brewing is done 100% by the monks who live there.
Right, and which is a really cool thing because that's what they've always done. You know, they don't get onto brewing because it's a fad or because it's, you know, this cool thing to do now. They're not trying to be a world conglomerate. They're just trying to make good beer and support their monastery. And turns out they make the best beer in the world. You know, it just happens. So I don't know what their secret is. I really want to know. So I think we should dive in. Let's get our noses into this and see what we think of Westy 12. You know, I get a lot of the CO2 aroma. If you've ever homebrewed before, right when you take off the lid of the fermenter, it has this big CO2 pungency. And that's what I get a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like that typical kind of Belgian-y dark fruit character. Figs, dates, plums, raisins. The darker fruits, there's like a nice caramel sweetness to it.
Dark caramel, like stuff that's really just been concentrated caramel. Surprisingly light for what I would expect from a quad, especially one that's ranked the highest in the world. Maybe they're taking a little bit of a softer touch on everything as opposed to just hitting you in the face with all the funk. There's a little bit of like this green apple ester to it too. Maybe like a little green grapeness, and maybe that's just because it's new. Mm-hmm. Dan Clark, who got us these, thank you, Dan, told us maybe you want to sit on it for a little bit. So this is pretty fresh. Mm-hmm. Kind of would be interested to see how this ages later.
Okay, guys. Well, it's been 1 year in the making. We have it in front of us. Let's dive into the number one beer on the planet, Westy 12. Cheers.
Cheers. God, that is so good. That is
really nice.
Just really, really clean for what I would think a quad would be. It's light, it's bubbly, it's effervescent, but it's got these good, deep caramel, brown sugar flavors as well.
But, you know, it kind of speaks to the purpose behind the beer back in those times, where it maybe wasn't all necessarily about big, robust, monstrous flavors as we are kind of accustomed now, but like, you know, this is what people were drinking throughout the day. You know, this is like a substitute for water.
Yeah.
I mean, at 10%, you're right. It does come with a bit of like a lingering warmth in your mouth and in your belly. You can definitely feel it. It doesn't affect the flavor too much, though. It's not like drinking gasoline.
I get a lot of, you know, figs and plums and, you know, just dark fruits like that. Things that are just concentrated in sugars.
You know, I've had like some Americanized Belgians, you know, and I tend to not enjoy those as much because of the funkiness and almost like the slapping of like the banana clovey taste.
Yeah.
This I feel like is a game changer for me because if this is what more Belgians taste like, at least the ones that we have access to,
actual Belgians,
it's a style that I actually really like. It's really drinkable, even for 10%. It's very, very drinkable.
Yeah.
Even though it's the number one beer on the planet, I want to know authentically, what are you giving this?
I'm going to go 98. I think this is the best quad I've ever had, the one that I would reach to again if I could just get Westy 12 off the shelf and they were like, what quad would you want? I would obviously say this. 10% gets a little boozy. I don't know if they needed to go 10%, but why not? You know, it's just kind of how it happened. I can't find too much that I would complain about this, if anything. I think 98.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go right in that same range, 95 to 98. I mean, I don't know what else, like you said, I don't know what to pick on. I think it's really well done. There's nothing in it that I'm like, oh, that's off-putting.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's really like blowing my mind, but I think that's okay. I think that it's just a really well put together beer. I feel really lucky to even have the chance to try it. So thank you again, Dan. 98 for you, around the same thing for me. But big surprise.
Oh no.
big anniversary edition of the Brew Review crew. We are bringing on a third guest reviewer to the crew. He's a little shy, doesn't want to be on camera. It's TV's Randy Jackson. He's off camera in the Brew Review crew studios. Randy, what are you going to give the Westy 12?
Yo, man, this kid is ready to go. Once you got started, it was like going on. I was like,
all right, well, there you have it from the mouth of Randy Jackson off camra. Sounds good to me.
Sounds like he loves it just as much as we do.
Fair review.
You know, he knows his stuff. He's a judge for a reason.
Yeah, a closeted craft beer drinker. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for making this year fun, exciting for us. We love all the interaction we have, and we love reaching out, sharing our thoughts on beers with you. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are half the reason we do this. I mean, sure, we want good beers, but we also like spreading it with the world, and we like hearing what you have to say. So please make sure you comment below, subscribe to us, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all that great stuff. And as always, remember,
we're the Brew Review crew.
We'll review.
I'll brew for you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy anniversary.
Oh, thanks. He has stuff I've never heard of, which is awesome. So this is their double or imperial India Pale Ale.
Cool.
Should be pretty awesome. I mean, everything they make seems to be amazing. So I'm just hoping that this
the color intrigues me.
Yeah, it's almost like a weird hazy, like copper. Like it reminds me of